So picture this. A strange flash on a NASA live feed, a world-renowned physicist issues a cryptic warning, and suddenly, everything we thought we knew about the moon is just, well, wrong. For decades, there have been whispers, odd signals, unexplained events, but now, the data is undeniable. The moon isn't the dead, silent rock we always imagined. It's active, it's unpredictable, and honestly, it might be far more dangerous than we're being told. As we race to build a permanent base on its surface, are we ignoring the signs? Let's delve into it. Historical context. Apollo's ringing bell. Think the moon is just a lifeless ball of rock? Well, the Apollo astronauts thought so too, until they performed an experiment that, frankly, sent shockwaves through mission control. On November 20th, 1969, the Apollo 12 crew deliberately crashed their 2,400-kilogram lunar module into the surface at over 6,000 kilometers per hour. Gary Latham, the principal investigator for the Apollo seismic experiments, and his team expected a brief tremor that would fade in minutes. Instead, the moon resonated like a giant gong. The single seismometer, placed just 73 kilometers away, detected vibrations that continued for a staggering 55 minutes. And get this, this was repeated on later missions with even larger impacts. When the 14,000-kilogram SVB booster from Apollo 14 hit the moon, the vibrations lasted for over 3 hours. On Earth, with its water and fractured geology, such an impact would have died down in less than 5 minutes. The moon's prolonged ringing, according to Latham's team, suggested the lunar crust is incredibly rigid and fractured, allowing seismic waves to travel vast distances without losing energy. This was the first hard data, suggesting our celestial neighbor was far stranger and more structurally uniform than anyone had imagined. AI surveillance systems. In the 21st century, we don't just rely on human eyes to watch the skies. So, who's watching the moon when we aren't? The answer is artificial intelligence. Sophisticated AI systems now monitor continuous data streams from lunar orbiters, which have sent back over 1.4 petabytes of data. That's 1,400 terabytes. These neural networks, developed by scientists like Dr. Kiri L. Wagstaff at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, are trained on millions of high-resolution images to detect patterns and anomalies a human operator would almost certainly miss. You can think of it as the ultimate security camera for our celestial neighbor, with a resolution capable of spotting objects as small as 50 centimeters. These systems aren't just looking for craters. They're hunting for outliers in thermal, spectral, and topographic data. They can distinguish between a 1-millisecond cosmic ray strike, a camera glitch, and a genuine surface phenomenon with over 98% accuracy. When an AI flags an event like the one that triggered this warning, it's because the event breaks established patterns across multiple data types simultaneously, giving us a new, unbiased look at what's really happening up there. The moon is alive. Was the ringing bell of the Apollo era just an old mystery? Not at all. It was a warning shot. Recent missions have confirmed that the moon is far from geologically dead. India's Chandrayaan-3 mission, which landed in August 2023, detected numerous seismic events. This data is critical because it confirms what scientists like Dr. Thomas Waters of the Smithsonian have been arguing for years. Waters and his team have identified thousands of fault scarps, particularly concentrated near the South Pole. These aren't ancient. They are signs that the moon is actively shrinking as its core cools, causing its diameter to have decreased by about 50 meters over the last few hundred million years. This shrinking causes the crust to break, triggering shallow moonquakes that can register up to 5.5 on the Richter scale, powerful enough to cause significant damage. One major quake near the South Pole is estimated to have occurred less than 50 million years ago, a blink of an eye in geologic time. This is precisely where NASA's Artemis program plans to build its base. The moon groans, it trembles, and it is very much alive. Underground mysteries. If the surface is more active than we thought, what's happening underneath? The answer might be even more unsettling. Decades of data have pointed to the existence of enormous caverns beneath the lunar crust. These are not small caves, they are massive lava tubes. Planetary scientist Dr. Pascal Lee of the SETI Institute has studied these features as potential habitats because they offer incredible protection, reducing lethal radiation exposure by a factor of 1,000 or more, and providing a stable temperature of around -20 degrees Celsius, compared to the surface which swings from 120 degrees Celsius to -170. but their scale is honestly terrifying. Japan's Kaguya orbiter discovered a lava tube in the Marius Hills region that is estimated to be over 50 kilometers long and at least 1 kilometer wide, large enough to fit the entire city of Philadelphia inside it. NASA's Grail mission confirmed these massive hollow spaces stretch for miles. Here's the concerning part. These voids are concentrated in the same regions as the most intense seismic activity. Imagine building a habitat on what appears to be solid ground, only for a magnitude 5.5 moonquake to collapse the kilometer-wide cavern beneath you. The invisible killers. There are dangers on the moon that you can't see, hear, or feel until it's too late. The biggest threat isn't a moonquake, it's cosmic radiation. Unlike Earth, the moon has no protective magnetic field. Space radiation expert Dr. Carrie Zeitlin has noted that the average daily radiation dose on the moon is about 1,369 microsieverts, over 200 times more than on Earth's surface. But the real killer is a solar particle event, or SPE. During a major solar flare, the surface is blasted with particles traveling at nearly the speed of light, and the radiation dose can spike to over 1 sievert. That's a potentially lethal dose, causing severe radiation sickness, with a 15% chance of death within 30 days, delivered in a matter of hours. These events are often invisible, but they can leave a signature on camera feeds as bright flashes. By the time you see the flash, the lethal radiation has already arrived. With our sun entering a more active solar cycle, the frequency of these deadly invisible storms is predicted to increase by over 30%. The hidden race for control. While scientists debate natural phenomena, another possibility for strange anomalies cannot be ignored. Some might not be natural at all. We are no longer alone in our lunar ambitions. The moon has become the arena for a new, high-stakes space race. Both the United States and China are targeting the South Pole, where an estimated 600 billion kilograms of water ice may be trapped in permanently shadowed craters. General David D. Thompson of the U.S. Space Force has spoken publicly about China's capabilities to interfere with U.S. activities. NASA's Artemis 3 landing is planned for no earlier than September 2026, while China plans to establish its International Lunar Research Station in the same region in the 2030s, in partnership with Russia. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967 forbids national appropriation, but it's silent on resource extraction, creating a dangerous legal gray area. An unexplained flash on a live feed could be more than a cosmic ray. It could be a reflection from a surveillance platform no one is ready to publicly admit. Historical patterns. Transient lunar phenomena. Strange lights on the moon are not a new occurrence. For centuries, astronomers have documented what are known as transient lunar phenomena, or TLPs. These are short-lived changes in light or color on the lunar surface. On May 4, 1787, Sir William Herschel, the discoverer of Uranus, reported observing what he believed were 3 volcanoes erupting on the moon. In the 1960s, NASA commissioned a study which resulted in the technical report R-277, a catalog compiled by astronomer Winifred Sawtelle Cameron listing 579 reliably observed lunar events. These sightings often cluster around specific geologically interesting regions like the crater Aristarchus, a hotspot for TLP reports. One leading theory, championed by planetary scientist Dr. Arlen Kratz, is that these flashes are caused by the release of ancient gases from below the surface which kick up dust that reflects sunlight. During the Apollo 11 mission, Mission Control alerted the crew to a TLP report from German astronomers who had just observed a bright glow near that very crater. Apollo-era secrets. The scientific instruments of Apollo told a story of a surprisingly active moon, but what about the astronauts? The men who walked on it also reported seeing things they couldn't explain. Crew members described seeing strange flashes of light even with their eyes closed. These were high-energy cosmic rays, with energies exceeding 100 mega-electron volts, striking their retinas. However, some flashes were observed externally. During the Apollo 17 mission in December 1972, astronaut and trained geologist Dr. Harrison Schmitt yelled, "I just saw a flash on the surface," while orbiting the moon. Schmidt's scientific background made his observation particularly credible. He reported the bright pinprick of light near the crater Grimaldi. His fellow crewmate, Ronald Evans, also spotted a flash east of Mare Orientale. These were experienced observers, not prone to exaggeration. Their reports, combined with the seismic ringing data, painted a picture of a moon that was far more dynamic than the magnificent desolation it appeared to be. Why it matters to you. This isn't just about strange lights 384,400 kilometers away, it's about the future of human exploration. We are returning to the moon, and this time, the plan is to stay. The Artemis program, with a projected cost of $93 billion through 2025, is a massive global investment in our multi-planetary future. The technologies we are developing, quake-resistant habitats, radiation shielding, closed-loop life support systems, are the same technologies that will one day take us to Mars. But as space policy expert Dr. Bhavya Lal has emphasized, the success of these missions depends on accurate risk assessment. What if that assessment is flawed? Building a base on ground that is unstable, riddled with voids, and blasted with radiation is a recipe for disaster. The investment is immense, but the potential return in scientific discovery, technological advancement, and securing humanity's future beyond Earth is incalculable. Getting the moon right is the critical first step. The terrifying reality. Let's connect the dots. The terrifying warning from physicists like Michio Kaku isn't about a single event. It's the conclusion drawn from over 60 years of accumulated data. The Apollo experiments proved the moon has a bizarre internal structure that rings for up to 3 hours. Modern seismometers confirm it can produce magnitude 5.5 quakes right where we plan to land. Orbiters have mapped 50-kilometer-long hollow lava tubes beneath that same region, creating a risk of catastrophic collapse. We know the surface is constantly bombarded by radiation, with a single solar storm capable of delivering a lethal 1 sievert dose in hours. And on top of all these natural dangers, the moon is now a theater for a geopolitical space race involving more than a dozen nations. Each one of these facts is a serious challenge. Together they paint a picture of an environment far more hostile and unpredictable than we have publicly acknowledged. The flashes and anomalies are symptoms of a deeper truth. The moon is not a stable, dead world, it's an active, dangerous frontier. The evidence is clear. The moon holds secrets we are only now beginning to unravel. The consistent pattern of anomalies from the Apollo era to today's AI-monitored feeds tells a story of a world that is active, complex, and potentially treacherous. As we prepare to send the next generation of explorers back to the lunar surface with the Artemis program, we must proceed with caution and a newfound respect for the challenges that await. The stakes, human lives, national investment, and our future in space, are simply too high to ignore the warnings. If you found this exploration as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the mysteries of our universe. What do you think the moon is trying to tell us? Thank you for watching Space Facts.